with your palate cleansers. Show me what you got.
Welcome in, everybody, to a brand new episode of Audionots. I am Eric Oldboy, online with the one, the only, Rin. What's going on, my man?
What it do?
How you living?
Staying alive.
Oh, just like the song?
Ooh. Yeah, waiting for that vaccine.
That hot-ass vaccine?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that we're all kind of waiting our turns, except for those who cheat and cut in line, because I know a lot of folks have done that.
I know a few people myself too. Like, you're like, how did you get one? I know you don't work in that industry, you know?
Yeah, some of my daughter's friends have got it, and they're like 20.
Maybe they're in like a generational household, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. When we asked, we said, "How'd you get one?" And they like, "We know people." I'm like, "Okay." I still don't know anybody good, but okay.
Damn. Hook up.
Yeah, I figure, in the end, we're all gonna want to get them. So the more people that get them, the better. Honestly, I'd rather have people cut in line to get some than not get it at all. So whatever, I'm not gonna cry about it.
Yeah, I just want to go to the movie theaters, man.
Movies, yeah, here in town, the movie theaters have opened back up. Oregon is, I don't know, what is your county? Are you like moderate or?
Oh, I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure you're moderate, and my county has moved from extreme to high. So apparently you only had to be in high to be able to watch movies in the movie theater. So that's good, I guess.
Are you gonna risk it?
No, because there's no good movies. Like, I would risk it maybe if there was like a good ass movie. But what movie am I gonna go see? Reruns of Wonder Woman or cartoons or some movies from last year?
Monster Hunter? Come on. Plenty of movies.
I've seen Monster Hunter.
No, you're talking about Love and Monster.
Oh, Monster Hunter was the one with the big ass guns. No, I had not seen that. And I would not go to the movie theater if there was no pandemic to see that.
Yeah, other than that, I've been doing a lot of stocks.
Stocks? Hot stock talk?
Yeah. For some reason, GameStop went up again. It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw that. Weren't you saying that there was like one dude kind of manipulating the market, like one like fat pocket boy?
I think so. I heard that he like put like $4 million.
Yeah, it was trending again. I saw it just literally before I sat down. I was on the Twitters, and they were saying that GameStop was back up.
Yeah, because I think beginning of the week it was around what $40 or $50. And then I think yesterday it shot up to like 120. I'm like, what the heck? What's going on, man?
It's a wild ride. You had to be willing to grab it and then get rid of it pretty quickly so that you don't end up with a $10 stock.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because people were buying back into it like around $80 or so, and they're still profiting. I'm like, dude, I'm too scared to like even try and touch that.
No, I think you're doing the right thing by investing in stuff rather than just trying to be trendy, and it's dangerous. It's a dangerous game.
Plus, like you said, the movie theaters are opening back up, so AMC stock went up too.
Let's go. I have some of that, so I need AMC to do something so I can dump my stock that I paid too much for.
I think at the high it was like $10.
Yeah.
And the last time I checked went back to like $7. So.
Oh, I needed to get way more than that. We needed to get into the 20s. Let's go 20s.
What you gotta do is buy more shares around like the $7 range.
Yeah.
And then like make your average go back to down to like 7 rather than like 35 or 20 or whatever you bought it at,
I bought it at $16. So you're saying that if I was smart, when it goes back down into the $5 range, I buy a bunch more, and then I average out how many I have by my total spend. And then once I beat that total spend, I sell.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense. There you go. That's some real hot stock tips. It seems like basic math, but sometimes all of us don't think that way. And by all of us, I mean me.
Yeah, because some people like think that it's like, so you bought it at $16.
You have to sell it for more than $16.
It stays at $16, like
right.
You have to sell more than $16. No, you just have to spend more money to buy more to average it out. Yeah.
Right. It sounds backwards, but yeah, the more you spend, the lower your per share cost goes, and then you only have to beat that price.
Right.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense to me. That's why they always talk about buying on the dips.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. They're like, I bought it on the dip, but it's still dipping.
Well, how are you supposed to know unless you're some sort of clairvoyant when is the end of the dip? You're like, oh man, I've never seen this low. And so you're like, buy. And the next thing you know, it goes even lower. And like, oh, damn.
Yeah, that's why it's a tricky market, man. You never know. You
Yeah.
just gotta like cross your fingers and hope. Like I bought some Neo, which is like some Chinese EV.
It's like a matrix filled like electric vehicle.
Yeah, I took the blue pill and so I think the future is EV. With like Biden in
Oh, for
power,
sure. Yeah.
and so you gotta invest in one.
That's what I'm always kind of looking out for is like the next big thing that's actually going to take. And there's probably no way you'll ever spot the one thing. So you have to find like a category. Like in your case, you're looking
Yeah.
at EV. So I find a category that I really think is the next big thing. And then you got to buy some of everything and just hope one makes enough to pay for all of your investments.
Right. It's kind of like when Tesla was launched, like,
Yeah.
this is gonna go anywhere. Why are you buying into this?
Yeah.
Now it's like $800 per stock. What?
You're like, damn. Or when Bitcoin first came out, and now it's worth like, what is it, like $54,000 per piece?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Come on, Doge. Make your move, man.
I sold off my Doge for a profit. It wasn't much, but at least now I don't have to sit there and check it every day.
Did you see all of it?
Yeah, I sold all of it. I'm like,
Nice.
forget this. I waited for it to hit what seemed like the high at the time, and I sold it, and I'm pretty happy because it did fall pretty dramatically after that.
I think the high when you sold it was at this highest, and I haven't seen it past that since then.
Well, it's only because Elon said something. That's all you gotta take for it to do well. Is if Elon's like Doge, and then like a million people jump online and buy it.
It's funny because like he's like Doge distraction while I buy Bitcoin.
That's totally it. He's probably a huge owner of Bitcoin. In fact, you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. There's very few things you can actually purchase with cryptocurrency, and Tesla is one of those things.
Yeah, he put like 1.5 bill or a mil in there. It's crazy in Bitcoin. That's why it skyrocketed.
Everybody thinks that he's manipulating the markets for the little people. No, he's manipulating the markets for himself. And I give him props. He has the ability to do it.
Yeah, because like he throws a bone over here, and like everyone goes,
oh. So yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, it's a crazy game. I don't know. I need to slow it down because I might go broke.
Well, not technically. I mean, it's still your money. So that's the one thing about investing. Unless you make real bad investments, you're putting your money away. It's no different than a savings account.
Yeah. Since this week was like a red week, I decided to do some monthly investments. Nice. So I put in recurring money into our fractional shares.
Yeah.
So I picked 4, and I'm putting money into it. So every month I'm spending like $200.
Nice. And that's like your TeePublic money or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's genius. So you're taking a passive income and then you're investing in that passive income so that it can grow and make you more money.
Yeah, and I have it on automatic, so it just goes without me like realizing it.
Yeah.
So when my kid's like 18, I'm like, yo, I got you, college.
I got you
money.
I got you. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's such a good plan. We've always talked a lot about passive incomes, and the folks out there should really find, for us, it's fun because we're designers to do TeePublic and things like that. But if you can find that one passive income to where you've got your real job, then you've got your passive income job, and you take that extra cash, because that's what the passive income is, and you invest it. And in this case, we're investing it in stocks. But at the end of this episode, we're going to talk about something brand new that could be an investment opportunity for everybody. And I'm almost afraid to share it because it's such a good opportunity. It's so new, so fresh, just out of beta. And so it's possible with this last news story of this episode where you could take $9 and turn it into $200,000 overnight. And that sounds ridiculous. That's the kind of crap you see some like greasy guy telling you on like a commercial for like, some infomercial. But yeah, it's possible. I'm not saying it will, but there's a possibility right now of this really amazing investment opportunities we're going to talk about at the end of the episode. So people need to stick around for that.
Wow. What a tease.
Oh man, I know.
A tease.
It's the teasiest tease ever.
You could, fast forward to the end and then rewind back and listen to it.
You could, yeah. I suppose you could, because you never know. What we're talking about definitely does have some timing issues. So you may want to fast forward, listen to that part, and then come back, because you may want to get in on it as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Anyways, got anything else you want to talk about before we jump into the healthy stream?
Oh, let's go.
All right,
Ready?
let's go. All right, so here is the healthy stream. So I think we should start with our fave, the absolute fave. We're getting near the end. It's almost over. It almost makes me kind of sad. So WandaVision, we just watched episode 7. Tomorrow is episode 8. So by the time the peeps listen to it, the Audionuts listen to this episode 8 will be out.
Correct.
So you guys will be able to hear that part, but it's new for us. And so we just watched number 7, and it went from the show when we first started watching it, at least for me, I was kind of like, I don't know, I'm not so sure. Like I get that it's gimmick to where now I'm like, I'm jonesing. I want to see it so bad. And I know last week you stayed up to midnight to see the next episode. So let me ask you, are you doing that again tonight?
Yes, tonight again.
Wow.
I have to, man. Because that's like I said, I was like, I gotta stay up to midnight because my buddy's gonna ruin it for me.
Right.
And sure enough, 6 a.m. in the morning, he texts my group chat. This happened.
That's a legit troll. You need to mute him. Is there any way? So I don't even know. I'm such an old fart. Can you mute one person in a group chat, or do you have to like straight up delete them and hope they don't add themselves back in?
I don't know. I can mute myself and just kind of like not see it. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, what a sucker. Whoever you are, knock it off. That's such a such a dick move.
It's kind of like he's like, I knew it all along. It was this person, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, the whole episode, it was to reveal that person,
Right.
Like, what the?
Yeah, we all kind of knew. So let's talk about it. So spoilers alerts ahead. Woo, we need a spoiler alert noise. That'd be kind of cool. Kind of a siren, like not that. Don't use that.
Oh. Okay. Maybe I'll remix it to like something else.
You're like, see, Rin is the one that edits the podcast, so he can do whatever dumb thing he wants and make me sound like an idiot more than I already do. But yeah, so WandaVision, episode 7. What was the term they went with? It was always Agatha.
Yeah.
So what were your thoughts on that episode?
I thought it's gonna be more of a big reveal of like outside stuff, but
Right.
it was more a reveal of what's happening
inside.
Like,
right.
I was hoping like, oh look, this Reed Richards, sort of thing.
Right. Everybody's hoping for a few things. They're hoping for the Reed Richards of the world.
Yeah.
They're hoping for the Doctor Stranges.
And then you're like, you forgot about what's happening inside. Let me tell you, So it was a big reveal, and I enjoyed it very much.
It was a good episode, and like your troll friend, he's not wrong. I think we all kind of knew that Agatha was Agatha Harkness and that she was going to play a big part of it. We've talked about that on this podcast. And so, but it was neat to kind of see what they gave us. And did you pick up on any Easter eggs that really stood out to you that's maybe revealed more than they want you to know quite right away?
I saw that they show her book, like her witch book or something like that.
Spell book?
Yeah, because she's a witch.
She's a witch, yeah.
And they say that there's this one scene in Doctor Strange where he was looking at his walls,
Yeah.
And there's like, all sorts of books up there too, and there's like one missing.
Oh.
And the funny thing is like all those books are hung, and the frame around it are hexagons.
Oh. You think they're really, that's really impressive if that turns out to be something. The fact that they thought so far back to put that in a hexagon pattern for this whole hex situation.
Yeah.
I mean, who's writing this stuff and how far have they written ahead? Like we're watching this right now. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Do they have another 15 years worth of content already pre-thought out and they're already peppering in little ideas?
Yeah, and we're just living through it. Oh my God, mind blowing.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing if that turns out to be true. I saw some other things with the Spider-Man tease that had some hexagon things in it, and they were like, look at those hexagons. So now we're like obsessed as Marvel fan for the hexagon. Were there any other Easter eggs that caught your eye?
I mean, it's so meta to the point where even the chick, the doctor chick, what's her name? Darcy?
Oh, Darcy, yeah.
She even points it out. I'm calling it the hex, Oh, look, it's catching on.
I think part of it is the Marvel fan, like the hardcore fan, like we're probably somewhere in the middle. We're we talk about it on a podcast, but then there's the real hardcore guys that are like pausing it, zooming in and doing all that kind of stuff. Then there's the more casual fan who likes it, but doesn't follow all this. And so they have to spell it out, I think, sometimes in the storytelling. So for them to get it and enjoy it as much as we do, Darcy has to say it's a hex. So someone's just like, what the hell's going on? I don't get what all the talk's about. What's the hype?
And then we're like, It's so meta.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
meta. I
But
know.
she's just trying to dumb it down for the people or something.
Yeah, she's just helping the story move
Yeah.
along for the average viewer. The one thing that kind of stood out to me is they always give you that commercial, and it's always kind of there's something about the commercial, and this one had the word Nexus on it, and so I was doing some research because it sounded like you kind of knew about Nexus beans. I, on the other hand, had no clue, and so I wrote this down, and so maybe after I say it, you can explain it because I'm still trying to learn. I'm just a
Oh,
Padawan
yeah,
on
I
this.
know nothing, man.
You're gonna pretend like you know something, so that people will be like, "Wow."
Amazing.
So the TVA, which I guess is going to be a big part of the Loki TV show, is called the Time Variance Authority. They have a long history, I guess, with Nexus beings, and so they're saying that this whole Nexus thing, which is, I guess, a Nexus being, is someone that lives in all the timelines but is the same being. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So would Loki then be a Nexus being?
I don't think so.
So who in this show is the Nexus? You're saying it's the Scarlet Witch herself?
Yeah, it's Wanda.
Okay. Do you know of any other Nexus beings from like your readings?
No, I think the only person that I know is just Wanda. Because other than that, yeah,
Yeah, because I guess what's nice though, like I said, you're saying essentially you're saying that Wanda, no matter which multiverse we jump to, is still the same Wanda,
yeah,
which would make sense if we're really dealing with a multiverse Quicksilver, Petro or Pietro Pizza. He comes in and he recognizes her as Wanda, but she's kind of like, "Whoa, hold on,
Who are
I
you?
feel familiar about you, but you're not the brother I remember." And that's
Right.
like you said, Darcy also helping the dummies with with the narrative. Oh, they recast him,
Yeah.
those kind of things. So that's it. Now we're talking about it. It's so obvious what Darcy's character is there for. She's there to help the slower folks catch on with what the hell's happening. Because the
Yeah.
rest of us were like, "Oh shit, multiverse," and the average folks like, I don't get it. Why'd they change the actor?
What's the multiverse?
What's a multiverse?
See, like with Loki, I think the Loki series is gonna deal with time,
Yep.
right? But
Yeah.
this is like multiverse where it's like multi-dimensional universes. It's not dealing with like time from the past and the future sort of thing. So it's like a different. It's different. Yeah.
But like I said, they said it's connected. So the TVA, the time people, are connected with Nexus beings to some point, and one would imagine that a Nexus being could have all sorts of time traveling type things going on.
It makes you wonder if there's like only one, once she's dead, another one happens to, be born or some shit. I don't know. I don't know anything, man.
Well, we what do we know? We just talk about it.
Yeah.
So now you've seen a little bit more, and in this episode, we got to see Agatha reveal herself as we don't necessarily still know if she's a bad witch or not, but they're making it. It made it feel like she's the bad guy. Do you think she's the bad guy, or is there still a bigger bad guy waiting for us?
I think there's a being a bigger bad guy. I mean, it's too what she's doing is too like minimal to what to like matter.
Well, do you think then maybe she's not the bad guy at all, and she's helping them in her own way?
Yeah, I think she's helping Wanda in her own way to like help her grieve, sort of thing, to where then you'll find out that this being is trying to take over her or some shit,
like mess with her.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: do you think the bigger bad? This is your last chance to guess, I think, because either they're going to reveal a bigger bad next episode or in the 9th final episode. Is it going to be Nightmare or is it going to be Mephisto?
It's gonna be Dormammu.
Who the fuck is Dormammu?
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
What is that? I don't even know.
From Doctor Strange.
Oh, was that the weird like head thing at the top?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I'm just kidding.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
I think everybody, a lot of people think it's gonna be Mephisto.
Right, but I've also seen a lot of growing folks out there saying it's Nightmare because apparently that's his MO.
Yeah, I think because like for me, I might think it's Mephisto because he's like the devil,
Yeah.
To where he's in he ties a lot of things together.
It would make sense that devils and witches may like kind of hang out a little bit and there would be some interest there.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then I read this one thing because it's funny. These people post these, I got early things of the script, all these spoilers from the script. and you see these tweets. And this one's pretty funny. It's like straight up QAnon type stuff because it's like just handwritten on like an iPhone that they're taking a picture of, which is so funny to me that people are like, oh my God, that must make it true. And so in this one that I saw, this person was claiming that Agatha is the big bad and that she actually ate the twins. And to prove that they're not wrong, they showed another picture of a tweet that they put out, or you can even scroll to it, where they called everything that was going to happen in this episode to the letter. So they had it perfectly right. And then they're saying in the next episode that we see Doctor Strange, that we see her eat the kids, and that she is in fact the big bad.
I mean, she did say like she bit the kids, or she's bitten kids before or something like that.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's not my first time, certainly.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm really interested now to see what happens. If I wasn't so tired, like I was almost too tired to podcast, I would stay up till midnight too.
I might, honestly, if I'm too tired tonight, I might just mute my chat tomorrow and just.
You know what you could do, and this is going to sound totally out of bounds. You could always watch it first thing in the morning.
No, man, I'm not a morning person, dude. I like struggle to get up.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And I can't watch it without Boy Danger. He'll be pissed. So I gotta wait for him.
Yeah, we'll see. Play it by ear.
Play it by ear. That's all you can do. Over on Netflix, they've got some. Well, I'll start here first. Actually, I started watching a show on Netflix out of sheer boredom that I've actually kind of grown to like. And so I'm a little iffy on my recommendation, having only seen about 4.25 episodes. But it's called Tribes of Europa. Have you heard of it?
No, let me look it up quick.
Okay, you look it up. Well, I'll give the basics of what it is. So it's made by the producers that brought us Dark. You remember the German TV show Dark that was actually pretty fantastic?
Oh yeah.
So it is a German show, but I've noticed, I don't know about you, when they dub German shows, for whatever reason, German words are so close to English words that you forget most of the time that it's been dubbed. And so it's a dub, so everybody knows it is a German show that's been dubbed. But the basic concept is at some point in the future, and I think for the life of me, it was, I want to say like 2030 something. So it's like maybe 10, 15 years in the future. Something's happened where all the power has gone out and electricity doesn't exist anymore. And so everybody's kind of fallen back into like, old schoolness.
Revolution?
Yeah. What happens is
that one show.
Yeah, because this is a German show. It's based in Europe. And in Europe, what happens it's revolution. They lose all the power and they end up breaking into tribes. That's where you get the name Tribes of Europa. So there's not just one government in charge. There's all these different tribes and they're all kind of like battling it out to become the tribe. And it's pretty good. And so at the beginning, we are introduced to this family that's they call themselves the Origines. And they're like, you know what? F any kind of like stuff from before the blackout. We're going to live old school. We're living in the woods. We're building ourselves some huts. They're like basically human Ewoks, so they're chilling around, shooting things with bow and arrows, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then in the very first episode, we see a spaceship crash. And you're like, oh shit, there's spaceships. Because it looks like this looks like it's from like, the 1800s. And all of a sudden there are spaceships. And so you learn that not all the tribes have gone full old school, and there's all sorts of everything from in the middle. And there's this one tribe called the Atlanteans that somehow still have power, and they still have all this cool stuff that's even more current than what they had before the power went out, because this guy's flying like a strip spaceship, doesn't look like a plane. And so there's this whole fight. The pilot gives one of the kids from the tribe of Origines this cube that's got some sort of secret power that we don't know yet. And all hell breaks loose as every tribe's trying to get to it. And so you end up seeing this family break up, and the one son goes to one tribe, the sister goes to a different tribe, the kid's on the run with his cube, and he meets people. And it's really pretty clever. It's got, so if you're into it, it's got lots of violence. Everybody digs violence. If you're wanting, you're like, man, I wish this was even more like Game of Thrones. By the time you get to episode 4, there's a few good sets of nudity and sex scenes. There's a big old orgy happening. So,
oh my gosh,
yeah,
they're sold.
Not afraid. Yeah, they're not afraid to push the limits a little bit. But it's well done so far. I really like it, and the plot it takes a minute. Like after the first episode, I almost bailed on it, but then I was bored because I've been riding my bike here in the background a little bit longer. And so I started watching. I was riding my bike, and I'm like, okay. So I hit episode 4 at lunch today, and kind of started episode 5, and I'm like, I'm into it. I'm buying in now. So
Nice.
if anybody's looking for something to watch and they don't mind dubbed television, Tribes of Europa is now playing on Netflix.
Is it how many seasons?
So far, I think it's only the one.
Man, they love the idea of it happens in the future, but it looks like in the past. You know,
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Like maybe they're predicting, because how many movies did we see about viruses getting us? So it's only a matter of time before something real bad happens and we're all back to the dark ages, you know?
I bet you that one cube that the dude's holding, looking at the photo right now, it's
Yeah.
like a power, like a battery.
Yeah, it looks well. So I don't want to give too much away for everybody to watch it, but it definitely does some stuff. And so as the season progresses, you see some of the things it can do. And everybody wants it so badly because it comes from this one tribe that still has all these really cool stuff where everybody else is kind of screwed and in the dark ages.
It gives you Wi-Fi. Oh, let's go.
They're like, now we can watch Audionots. That turns out to be the final part of it. I'm like, genius. I love it. Also on Netflix, they released a brand new trailer for guess what? Zack Snyder. Homie's still doing other things other than Justice League. So Zack Snyder has a brand new movie coming out called Army of Dead. Which debuts on May 21st. And by the way, this is not to be confused with Army of Darkness, which was the first thing I thought of. I thought, are they remaking that Bruce Campbell movie? But no, it's completely different. What did you think about the trailer of Army of Dead?
It was very mad for me. And the whole plot of it is so dumb. Like, but then again, I love zombies, so I'm and it's on Netflix. I'll probably watch it, but it's like we're gonna do a bank heist, but in a zombie apocalypse where money doesn't even matter.
Dude, that is spot on. That was the first thing I thought. Why are they worried about robbing a bank if it's the zombie apocalypse? So all I can consider is maybe the zombies are only in Vegas and they're thinking once they get the money and get out, they can use it somewhere else, because there's got to be some sort of reasoning behind it.
Yeah, it's maybe like you said, there's like a whole gate where it's like cut off and they have to go in and get money in, big score. I don't know.
Yeah. Am I the only one that thinks Zack Snyder is only 2 shakes away from being Michael Bay? I mean, he's starting to do the same thing over and over again. He seems more concerned about aesthetic versus plot. And I mean, there was one scene where this guy pulls up a bat that's straight up like a rip-off Negan bat, like it's got like nails through it and stuff. I'm like, what the heck, man? We've seen someone hit zombies with a bat before, bro.
It's funny how they're like trying to push Batista as like the main.
Yeah, he's
Batista.
Well, what's funny about that is, remember we talked about this a few episodes ago, and the fools on Twitter chose him over The Rock as the better actor. So there you go, people. He gets to do direct to Netflix movies versus what The Rock gets to do. So I guess he is the better actor.
Yeah, you guys are right.
Yeah. Here's another fun fact about Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead is it originally had, God, what is his name? Oh, I should have wrote this down. It had that comedian that got Me Too'd.
Masterson?
No, not Danny Masterson, a different guy. And I can't think of his name, but there was a really popular comedian that was part of the movie, and he got Me Too'd. So they ended up digitally removing, because you know how Zack Snyder likes to do. He digitally removed this, bro, and replaced it with the female comedian, Tig something. I remember her first name because it's so unique. So it's almost like when you go to get pictures with your family and the one person doesn't show up, and so you Photoshop them in later and hope no one notices. I'm so curious to see if we can feel the awkwardness of them adding in this other human being over somebody else.
They're gonna like deep fake the whole body.
Yeah, I think that's essentially. I think they shot some scenes for the most part, but there was some stuff that they couldn't, because they'd filmed the whole movie with this dude before he got Me Too'd.
TJ Miller.
No, it's another good guess though. It looks like TJ Miller. I should look it up maybe, but I should have wrote it down or not brought it up. But it's such a unique story. When I was reading about it, I thought, holy crap, I can't believe it. But yeah, so they replaced the Me Too guy with Tig Notaro. I think I almost can remember her name, but she's the skinny, short-haired comedian that's in a lot of things. I don't think she's ever really been a superstar, but she's always like a sidekick in movies.
So you're gonna watch this movie just to see how they
Just-
edit?
Just to see how good it is.
Damn. Now I need to guess who that comedian is.
You'd probably know him.
What has he done?
He had his own TV show on NBC for a while, but it only lasted a couple seasons. And then he's been on a lot of other TV shows. It's kind of like he's also the sidekick type character. He always looks kind of drunk. We talked about him because he always played creepy, pervy guys in shows. Like he was a creepy, pervy guy. I think Workaholics on a few episodes. He's a creepy, pervy guy and other things. And someone's like, "Oh, talk about typecasting," because he's basically always the creepy, pervy guy.
Is he the Rate Van dude in Workaholics?
No, he's not the rape band guy. He was on a different episode. He was only on like a single episode. He wasn't like a multi-episode art
I don't know,
kind of
man.
guy. But yeah. So, anyways, I think that was kind of interesting. Over on Hulu, there is season 2 of Solar Opposites. I am so stoked. You know, I forgot to watch the trailer on this before we started, so you're gonna have to tell us what's amazing about it and why we all need to watch it.
I feel like they know their tone now, and
Yeah.
they're just taking it to the next notch.
Nice. Is it more Rick and Morty-ish or less Rick and Morty-ish?
It's more, and it's more
Yeah.
woke too.
Oh,
So
nice.
there's one scene where they're
Woke
like,
and Morty.
yeah, there's one scene where they're like, "What are these? Why do we get to wear masks now? We
Oh,
can't
that's
air.
funny.
We can't breathe the earth air or something like that." And it's,
That's funny.
yeah, it's pretty great.
I love it. And by the way, I think we should now each make a Woke and Morty TeePublic shirt. You think we get away with that?
Probably they just have to like approve it.
Yeah, I think that might be actually pretty good. I wonder if anybody's done that, or
Woke and Morty.
did we just come up with that right now? Anybody listening, don't steal this idea until we have a
I
chance.
Make sure to buy shirts from our store.
TeePublic. Over on Amazon Prime, Amazon.
Amazon.
They've got a lot of movies they've been adding. I want to tell everybody, we talked about it offline for a bit, but Tropic Thunder is on Amazon. I can't, I mean, if I have to tell you every episode, if you've never seen it, for all the millennials, zennials, all these fools that have never seen Tropic Thunder, I don't want to tell you anything about it. It stars a magnificent version of Robert Downey Jr., your favorite MCU star, Iron Man himself. So everybody go watch Tropic Thunder. It's amazing. It's a
Yeah,
fantastic
he's a
movie.
dude, playing a dude. Disguised as another dude.
Exactly. They also added the new Sonic movie. So if anybody wants to see Sonic the Hedgehog, that's over on Amazon Prime. I also saw that was on Hulu. So if you have either one of those, you're good to go with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Oh, nice. Did you watch it yet?
I have not. We were going to watch it this weekend, but then we just got busy and didn't do it. But then they released the final trailer, the big trailer of Invincible. So we've talked about Invincible on and off on this show, kind of been excited about it. It's made by Robert Kirkman, the guy that created The Walking Dead. So he's the genius comic boy behind it. And it stars a character that basically is becoming a superhero. He's not quite yet a superhero. So we see kind of him like aging into it. Like he's born from what looks almost like a Superman kind of guy. And he's waiting for his powers to kind of kick in, almost like puberty. And we get to see him go through it. And what was exciting about this full trailer, now that we got it, is how ultra violent it looks.
I didn't expect that at all. It took me like off guard.
It looks good though, right? Doesn't it look like an amazing show?
Because in my mind, I was thinking more like a DC animation where they're just, being superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, dude gets his ass like beat, bloody, like he's gonna die. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. I am legitimately pumped for Invincible, which comes out on March 26th.
Yeah, imagine like Doomsday beating the shit out of a Superman. Dude, that's what happened.
Yeah, it looks really good. So I would recommend everybody go out and watch the trailer, see if it's something that's for you. I like that Amazon's not afraid to give us really adult superheroes, because they brought us The Boys. Now we're getting Invincible. And it's just like, hopefully it keeps being successful and they'll keep doing it. They'll keep giving us more and more content like that.
I dig it.
I dig it too. I only had one quick take on HBO Max. Tom and Jerry is available now for all those Tom and Jerry fans out there. You can watch it right meow on HBO Max.
Is that why they've been advertising it so much? I didn't realize it was on.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if that's your thing, it's not. Wait, wasn't there a hot though in it? I'm trying to remember. I can't even remember who the actors were. I remember. Oh, it's
Hit
what's her
girl.
face? Kick ass. Hit,
Hit
yeah,
girl.
hit,
Yeah.
yeah. And I can say she's a hot now because she's not like 8 anymore. She's 20 something. So I may watch it just for that. Apple TV put out a new teaser trailer for Mythic Quest. I think I said I was re-listening to our episode from last week, and I said there's only 2 good shows on Apple TV, and it's Ted Lasso and The Servant, and I completely spaced on Mythic Quest. Mythic Quest is actually super good. So there's 3 good shows on Amazon or Apple TV. One of them being Mythic Quest. Season 2 has a new teaser trailer if you guys want to watch it and get to know the Mythic Quest characters. And the new season starts on May 7th.
Nice.
May 7th.
I think I'm going to start on The Servant pretty soon too.
Did you check and see if you have Apple TV? Are you good to go?
I'm good to go until July.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to watch. You should, as soon as you finish The Servant, since you haven't had Apple TV for a bit, you gotta watch Ted Lasso. That's gonna be your feel-good show. So if you like those kind of funny feel-good shows, that's the one. And then you're gonna watch Mythic Quest if you're like jonesing for like Always Sunny type funny vibes.
Yeah, I think I watched like half of that season.
Oh, okay. So you've seen some of it.
Yeah.
Perfect. I got a few other TV tidbits. Paramount Plus, which is the rebranded CBS. We talked about that, All Access. They had I didn't really see it happen, but they must have had some sort of here's our slate of new content we're putting out kind of shows, because all of a sudden there's all this stuff like Paramount Plus, Paramount Plus, Paramount Plus. So Paramount Plus is going to bring us Frasier. Did you ever watch the TV show Frasier?
No,
Kelsey Grammer?
No, I was like, I don't know. I just missed it.
Yeah, well, it was never my favorite. It's kind of funny, but it wasn't. Maybe it'll be funnier now. But they're bringing back, for those Frasier fans out there, they're bringing back Frasier, and they're bringing it back with Kelsey Grammer. So it's the original OG is coming back to replay Frasier. So they're doing a lot of this. Yeah, they're doing lots of this kind of stuff. Also, we may have talked about this at one point, but I don't remember. Showtime at one point was developing a Halo TV series, off the video game Halo. Well, guess what? That's moving to Paramount Plus now. So everybody was excited to see the new Halo TV series. It's going to be on Paramount.
And you can only watch it on a PC. It's so funny.
That would be actually pretty funny. No Apple TV, not at all. There's also going to be a new Real World on Paramount Plus. For my wife and I, we've always been big Real World fans. Is MTV's Real World. That it hasn't honestly been on TV in a bajillion years. And so here's what's interesting about it. For the Real World fans out there, they're bringing back the original cast from 1992.
Damn, doing what?
They're all going to live in some apartment in New York together for a summer or something. And so it'd be interesting to be like the geriatric Real World, because they have to all be older than me at this point. It's God damn. And to keep up, Paramount needs to keep up with the Joneses. So to keep up with HBO Max and Disney Plus with the big time movie releases, they are doing it too. So Paramount is going to get theater movies 45 days after they're in the theaters if they're made by Paramount. So you'll be getting, if you can wait a little bit, which is basically a month and a half after they come out in the theaters, you can see the new Top Gun, you can see the new Mission Impossible, and you can see the new Quiet Place 2. Quiet Place.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. And we're going to move on. You know what? This is perfect. I think we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back from our break, we're going to get you with some tasty trailers. And then we have a few news stories. We've got some Spider-Man news. We've got, have you ever wondered what gender a potato is? I know I have. And
There's
then,
2, right?
And then lastly, the hot news on how we're going to make every single listener 100,000 year. And so we're going to hit you on the flippity flip. Need affordable graphic design? VisualAntiDesign.com should be your first stop. High quality work at low prices. Perfect for every need from corporate to personal. Visit VisualAntiDesign.com now and request your free quote. And for a limited time, mention Audionots for 10% off your first project. Okay, we're back. So I want to start with the tasty trailers. My
Hey,
first tasty.
before we go into the Tasty trailer,
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you, I watched the first episode of Superman and Lois
Oh
on
yeah.
the
Tell me about that
on the
because
CW.
I don't watch CW too much at all. And I've only seen some stills and some gifs. And I kept thinking, boy, that's the most Italian looking Superman I've ever seen. So tell me about Superman and Lois.
Well, I watched the first episode. The pilot episode was like an hour ish,
Yeah.
And overall, I was like impressed. Like,
Really?
yeah, I'm like,
You're a
it's a
fan?
very like I'm like, it's a meh. Like as I was like thinking about it, I was like, you know what? It's actually pretty good for what it is. Like the
Really?
cinematography is really good.
The
The
special effects?
acting's good. The special effects decent too. Like I
Oh,
feel like they spent all their money
on
onto this
Superman?
show rather than all like the Flash or whatever,
Right.
It looks to me like an HBO show that's playing on CW.
Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe I'll have to give it a chance then. So the plot was okay. It wasn't ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's a more. Have you seen Man of Steel?
I think so. I'm not a DC guy, so it's in
Oh,
one
yeah.
ear and out the other.
Yeah, it takes on like that more serious tone, dark tone,
Okay.
where you're like the very first scene is like a montage of his life.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get to see what Superman's up to. And then this one takes place when he has teenage boys.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
they're probably it's kind of like when you get introduced to Spider-Man 150 times, like you
Yeah.
just jump into Spider-Man. We don't need to get introduced to Superman anymore because we all know, he's from Krypton. It blew up.
Yeah. Because it reminded me, like, remember Up, where they
Oh.
show you the little love story at the beginning?
Yeah.
And you're
It's
like,
like that?
oh, that's so cute. It's like that. So you're like, they catch you real fast. And then all of a sudden it jumps right into Clark and Lois, badass reporters, have 2 kids.
Nice.
And then it gets you like the teenage family problem sort of thing while doing like Superman stuff. So
What would you review it then? What kind of score would you give it?
I think it's like a 7 for me.
Nice. Very nice. All right, maybe I'll give it a shot. I saw the pictures and I'm like that Superman is so Italian looking. Like I'm ready from like, hey, oh, what you doing there? Lex Luthor. Hey, oh.
Yeah, the only thing that bothered me is like his Superman suit is like Shazam, freaking
Oh,
giant,
okay.
dude.
Got the built-in muscles.
Yeah.
He's like, it's a me, Superman.
Yeah, because when he changes to Superman, he just puts on the muscle suit,
Yeah.
He goes back to Clark Kent. He's all like scrawny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So okay. You know what? I will give it a shot, even though it's not normally my speed. My first trailer in the Tasty Trailers has to do with a documentary, a 5-part limited series actually, called Playing with Power. And it's about Nintendo and how Nintendo came to be, all the issues Nintendo had along the way that maybe some of us average folks don't realize, and kind of how Nintendo fell from the greatness that they were once all these bigger companies started to come about. Did you see this trailer yet?
Yeah, you gave me the title.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this? Looked it up. I'm like, oh, this is such a clever title. Like, I didn't realize it was about this.
It looks pretty good. Like I actually am a fan of docuseries, and I like that kind of stuff especially when I can learn something about a subject that I'm interested in. And look behind me. I like video games. And so I'm excited to kind of see more about Nintendo, because we all kind of know, they even showed in the trailer, Nintendo started off as a trading card company in like the 1800s. They're like a Pokemon type company. And then they built themselves into this huge company for video games. And they show like how the government was all upset with them at first, how they were going to ruin kids, and how they became
Monopoly.
right, how popular they became because they were so much better than Atari. And it reminds me of when Redbox put Blockbuster out of business, and then Netflix put Redbox out of business, is kind of that thing. So Nintendo put Atari out of business only to have Xbox and Microsoft and Sony come in and pile on them, and they're on the verge of just trying to keep up by appealing to people that are nostalgic for Mario and kids and things like that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how they built you up. Like, look at Nintendo, they're so nice and lovable, but there's a dark side,
The dark side of Nintendo. What did you think? Are you gonna watch it?
Is it on Crackle? I saw.
Yeah. So
where the hell do you watch Crackle?
For those in the know, Crackle is owned by Sony, so it's Sony's weird ass streaming platform. What's good about Crackle is it is available on every streaming device. Okay,
Oh.
so if you've got an Amazon Fire Stick or a Roku or Apple TV, you can just add the app in. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to sign in or nothing. That means also Crackle is ad supported, and I don't believe they offer a premium version. So everybody who decides they want to watch something on Crackle, you just have to be prepared to go old school and watch commercials.
Did I see it right? It was directed by The Hobbit. The one Sam
Oh, really?
Austin.
Sean Austin?
Sean Austin.
Yeah. I did not see that, but that sounds awesome. I mean, the show looks good to me, so I'm definitely gonna watch it. I happen to have the Crackle app because I have watched a few shows on Crackle, and they haven't been terrible. So it starts on March 1st, so that's really soon. What is that, like next week?
Monday.
Oh yeah. So by the time you guys hear this, you could jump on, you could figure out how to download Crackle and then watch Playing with Power. It's only 5 episodes. I think it's probably an hour, maybe an hour plus with commercials on each episode. My second trailer is kind of interesting as well. A long time ago, there was a TV show. Well, not a long time ago. A few years back, there was a TV show called Kevin Can Wait, starring Kevin James. So, and Kevin James tends to put out the same kind of sitcom over and over again. And what he did is he built himself so much credit with fans when he did King of Queens, because King of Queens is a fantastic show. I don't know if you've ever watched a lot of King of Queens, but it's funny. It is. It's a fat guy, hot wife, and that he kind of perfected the fat guy, hot wife comedy, right? And so Kevin James, ever since King of Queens, just keeps making more shows just like King of Queens. In fact, he's got a new show, by the way, brand new on Netflix. I'm gonna save everybody time. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but they advertise it right when you turn on Netflix about him working as like a car mechanic for like NASCAR or something. We couldn't even get through a half hour. We started to watch it. We watched 10 minutes of it and had to turn it off. It's that bad and so stupid. And that Kevin James, I don't think maybe is a bad of a guy, but that he's perfected the fat guy, hot girl comedian or comedy type show. And so his second big hit after King of Queens was called Kevin Can Wait. And what happened is he wasn't vibing, or maybe the producers didn't think he was vibing with his co-star, his hot wife on Kevin Can Wait. And they ended up firing her and replacing her with Leah Remini, who was his original wife from King of Queens, which was total BS, right? And everybody's like, "What the heck just happened?" And it was weird. The show got weird. Like the first lady was fine. I think her name was like Erin Moridi or something. And so that kind of made news, right? And so some of the writers and people from that said, "You know what? This is BS. We're gonna like make something that kind of addresses this, and then come up with a whole new concept." And so from this idea was born the TV show called Kevin Can Fuck Himself. And so what's interesting is it's on AMC. It's a revenge drama that stars Schitt's Creek alum Annie Murphy. She's the sister, the hot sister from Schitt's Creek. She's a great actress, by the way. And that's 99% of the reason why I want to watch this, because I really loved her on Schitt's Creek. It's created by Valerie Armstrong and produced by Rashida Jones. Rashida, you all remember, was on The Office. She's also on Parks and Rec. And she is the daughter of Quincy Jones, for any old folks out there like, holy crap, I didn't know that. Kevin Can F Himself is a nice little nod to Kevin Can Wait. So they've admitted that this is making fun of that show, that starred Kevin James as a mainstay of the insufferable genre is what they're talking about. The show follows a woman who's reached the end of her rope and is ready to violently reclaim her life. And so they do something that's kind of clever, that's almost like WandaVision, where you're getting almost 2 versions of the show. Whereas Wanda creates this fake television 19 whatever it is show, and then outside we see the real world. This is the same thing. So every time that the wife is in the house with a Kevin James lookalike, it's like a sitcom. There's a laugh track. There's everything. He's a real dick, and she's like cooking dinner and making dishes, cleaning dishes and all this stuff. And then, but when she leaves, it turns back into like the real world, and she's like all pissed off and angry and bitter, and she starts to exact her revenge like badassery style. It looks really interesting. I don't know what you thought about this trailer, but I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, I think the word you nailed it was clever for me. How they were switching between the two.
Yeah,
and it got dark real fast too. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a unique idea. I'm not sure that it will be hugely successful because it may be too unique, But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested mostly because I like Annie Murphy. She's great. I like the concept though too.
Does she give you like Margot Robbie vibes?
Yeah, a little bit, especially when
Like,
you see her being kind of a BA. You
yeah,
know, because I saw people even say if Margot Robbie quit, she's the new Harley Quinn. So
yeah.
other
See,
people have had that thought as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So
Makes sense. I agree.
yeah, there you go. So everybody should watch Kevin Can Wait. Or Kevin Can Go F himself. Don't watch Kevin Can Wait. It premieres this summer. They haven't given an exact date yet. Another new trailer that I sent over to you. I think you said you hadn't seen this one yet. Have you watched the trailer for Debris now?
Oh, I did.
Okay, so Debris is a. I'm not usually super stoked on network TV anymore. Generally, network TV is a bunch of hot garbage, and this could very well be more hot garbage. But the trailer at least looked a little bit interesting. So the concept is your typical something from space is getting us. In this case, it happens to be some random space junk. But as the space junk kind
Debris.
of land, yeah, the debris, it's like right in the title. And you know how you mentioned last episode you love it when they say the name inside the thing. They say it right in the trailer. It's the debris.
There it is.
I thought of you immediately. Now I'll never not hear that and think, oh, Ren likes this. But yeah, so the debris when it lands, it affects the Earth something, and they're talking about maybe some sort of time space portal or something. But all we see is the cool effects where it's making shit float. So we see floating bodies. We see some lady like port through like a bunch of like ceilings from the 13th floor to the banquet room.
And she dead. I'm like, damn.
She's dead. The acting looks okay. The effects look okay, and it looks a little bit darker than network TV. I mean, what's your take on this thing?
This one's gonna last a season, and that's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
a solo season.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it looks interesting. But I don't know. It didn't really catch me. Like, I'm like, I could totally pass if I don't watch this.
I'll watch it. I think I'm interested enough to record it. I'll record it, I'll watch it, and I'll come back and I'll tell everybody if it's worth skipping or if it's something you should watch.
Yeah, it's kind of like the mystery aspect of it, right? You want to know why everyone's doing what they're doing. Why are
Right.
you floating? Sort of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like I need to understand the concept of why you would float and why you could pass through things, because it just seemed like totally different stuff.
If it's aliens, man, I mean, so dumb. Like,
It's totally gonna be aliens, isn't it? I mean, it came from space. It's
It's
alien to us.
it's our own satellite, okay?
Just reverse. It's all just Elon Musk. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Hmm.
So I think it's time. I think it's time to dip our toes in the news jacuzzi. So the big news this week was Spider-Man finally got a title, Spider-Man 3, because they trolled us first. They weren't messing around. So Tom Holland said it's gonna be Home Wrecker. I don't remember which one he actually had, and then Zendaya is like, no, it's gonna be Home Slice, and then someone else said it's gonna be Home something else, and it was just like they were like getting us so bad.
Yeah.
Like at first I thought like Home Wrecker was really the name of it. So they finally admitted that it's actually being called No Way Home. And you had a really hot take on this, and I've seen it since, but I'd like to point out that you said it to me first before I read it
Yeah.
anywhere else. So I'm
Was
gonna
me?
I'm gonna call it your idea. So tell everybody your
Nice.
hot take on No Way Home.
No Way Home basically is he has no way back to the MCU, and he's stuck with Sony.
I think that's amazing because they've wanted to move him over to more Sony stuff anyways, because they do own him. So this is their ticket to say, hey, look, we're cool with the multiverse if he shows up here and there, but look, all of a sudden he gets to be introduced to shitty Venom. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, here's shitty Venom over here. Let's pretend he's okay.
Yeah, so that's it, man.
Then there was the people, because they had the little teaser piece. It wasn't really a trailer. It was more like it was a teaser of the title, which is really unique. Talk about milking a premise.
Yeah,
And
people love it though, man.
People love it. So Tom Holland and Zendaya and the other kid. What's the other kid's name even? Isn't he like really 40, but he pretends to be young? He's like bald in real life and wears a fake.
No, it's the opposite. He looks really old, but he's very young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The three of them come walking out and they're like telling Tom Holland that he's such a spoiler that he ruins things. And he's like, no, I don't do anything like that.
I know a guy that does that too.
Yeah. He's what a Tom Holland. You th. And so they walk by like a whiteboard, and on the whiteboard we see the title, which is No Way Home. But also there's all sorts of other stuff. People have screenshotted it and they're zooming in, and there's like, look, there's hexagons, there's
The
look at this
hex.
weird thing over here, and they're trying to connect it all. Did you pick up any like you think real Easter eggs from that, or you think that's another troll on their part?
I think it's for me. The only thing I saw was just the hex. Like, oh shit! It's probably
Yeah.
because we watched too much Wanda, so it's kind of like
We got hexes in our mind at this
Yeah.
point. Didn't you say you made a dope ass shirt that's gonna go on TeePublic for this?
oh, it's already on. It's
Oh, so-
basically a copy of what he was wearing when he came out of the office.
Yeah, so if you guys want that shirt, you need to go to Ren's TeePublic now and get it, because who knows how long they'll let us keep that up.
Yeah. I even wrote the wording too with my
Nice.
hand.
Oh, nice. Hand drawn. That's like real art. Money well spent.
But it's very basic though. So just be warned.
My next story, have you ever wondered what the gender of a potato is?
There's Mr. Potato and Mrs. Potato.
Nope, not anymore. I'm so glad you said that, because what happened today, announced it today, the company, I don't even know which company it is that makes Mr. Potato Head, has decided to make him gender neutral, and so it can meet every family dynamic. And so when you buy a potato head now, it's just called Potato Head. It's not called Mr. Potato Head. It's not called Mrs. Potato Head, because they said they've realized that when kids play with potato head toys, they tend to make families with them and play as a family. And they said it was unfair for them to have any kind of gender specific potato head. So you can get it, and it'll come with both, guy looking stuff and lady looking stuff. And you can make the potatoes however you want. So you can have a couple boy potatoes married with little baby potatoes. You can have a couple lady potatoes married with a couple baby potatoes. Whatever you want to do, you can have, the potato cornucopia is there for you.
Wait, so when you said potato, it was related to Mr. and Mrs. Potato, not like the actual potato?
No, the story is 100% about Mr. Potato.
Dude, I thought you were teasing like actual potatoes. Like, can you tell the sex of a potato?
You probably can actually tell the sex of a potato, but yeah, no, this is about the gender inclusive rebrand of Mr. Potato. I'm trying to see which company makes it. So it says here, Mr. Potato has been around since 1950. Oh, Hasbro. So the Hasbros, they're not so bro anymore. They're being more woke. Yeah, they're woke and Morty over here with their potato heads. So they're rebranding Mr. Potato Head to Potato Head to better reflect the full line, the company said in a press release. But rest assured that iconic Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head characters aren't going anywhere and will remain Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. So they're giving you a third option, it sounds like. So you're not only getting Mr. and Mrs., you're just getting the potato.
Pretty soon they're going to be called Hash, not Hash Bros. Hasbros.
Hash Bros.
It's going to be like just Hash.
Oh,
Take out the bro,
Oh, I see where you're going. You're making it a general neutral company.
Yeah.
That's their, what do they call it? The kids are like, I'm a she, him. It's their pronouns. They're Hasbros. My pronoun is Hasbro. I could probably be a Hasbro. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. It's always funny to me how people get so worked up about that stuff, because it doesn't matter. In the end, kids aren't gonna care. They got a potato head. They can stick fake lips on and hair. They're gonna be perfectly content.
Yeah, kids they do whatever they want to do.
But people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're forcing your identity on this." It's like, just relax. It's chill. Like, let everybody enjoy it. They haven't added anything that'll make your kid think the potato head's gay. I promise you that. But for the kids that grew up in that kind of household, they haven't like forced something on them that they can't enjoy as well. So it's like, it's all good.
Don't tell me how to parent.
I guess you just avoid the potato head, Yeah. And then you probably should avoid everything Hasbro, which is like every toy ever made. All right. So for our final and most teased story of the week, we're going to tell everybody how they can turn $9 into $200,000, because we saw it happen. We saw it happen in real time. Okay. So there's this company called Dapper Labs, and Dapper Labs is pretty cool. What they do is they're like a cryptocurrency type company, and they created this thing called CryptoKitties at one point, where they found this really fun way to exchange cryptocurrency and do blockchain and all these different things. And by attaching like cute little cats to the imagery, above the cryptocurrency itself, And so they've done the same thing. They've partnered with the NBA, the National Basketball Association, and they said, you know what would be cool? What if trading cards, collectibles, were virtual versus actual physical pieces of card stock? And so they made it even cooler than that by saying, well, let's take moments. So rather than you getting a LeBron James basketball card, you could choose from multiple LeBron James moments. I mean, maybe there's that one moment as a fan of a player that they did something, you're like, oh my gosh, I would love to own that moment in time. You can, they've done it. And you say, well, what are they selling me? Well, they're basically selling you a 30-second clip of them running a play, right? Maybe it's a dunk, a 3-pointer, some sweet ass layup.
Yeah. Like a
Whatever it
highlight.
might be. Yeah, a
Yeah.
highlight.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, well, what the hell? I can get that on my Giphy on my Twitter account. What do I need that for? Well, because it's associated with the cryptocurrency, it gives it its own unique identification number, which creates value. So it's really no different when you start to think about why is this piece of paper worth more than this piece of paper just because it has someone's picture on it. It's the same
Right.
exact thing.
Right.
And so because this is so new, this is like literally just stepping out of beta. I mean, you and I have been messing around with it for a while and they're still having some issues. So everybody needs to understand when they participate in this that there's going to be some issues, but there's so much potential that we're seeing. They sell what they call starter packs, which are about $9. And in the starter pack, you get 3 moments. And most people are able to take those moments and resell them for a minimum $100 per moment. And it's just incredible. And there was a guy just last week that sold a LeBron James moment for $208,000. And I don't know about you, but I've been real excited. So what are your early thoughts been on NBA Top Shot?
I mean, if you really think about it, NBA basketball card, it's a moment, but in a photo, right?
Correct.
So
yeah.
they've taken that concept and like, you know what? Rather than a photo, let's make it like a live view of it.
Yeah, it's a full highlight clip.
So I thought it was pretty genius to basically take cryptocurrency trading and disguise it with, something that people know that people will spend money on.
Right.
NBA,
Yeah.
And they got like actual NBA players investing in this and a bunch of people investing in this, and it's like becoming legit.
That's how I actually heard about it. So I was watching, because I'm a huge Blazer honk. So I was watching a bunch of Blazer games, and they had talked to CJ like during one of these timeout type things with a recorded piece, and CJ was into it. And so the NBA players, I think some of them are definitely paid sponsors. Tyler Hero, for a fact, is a paid sponsor because he's the one that they always show on the cover and stuff. But a lot of them, I think, honestly, I just think it's really cool that they can own a moment that they created. And so what we're seeing is average dudes like you and I are buying these moments, and NBA players are wanting to buy them back from us at big money. It's almost like they're gifting these poor folks money.
Yeah.
So it's pretty incredible, but everybody should be warned that this thing has gone from like 0 to 60, because I think it started way back in July. It started really working good in October, November, and then the general public, us and the folks, everybody else has kind of found out about it now. And so literally every moment, more and more people are joining and getting in on it. So when they do like a pack release, which they've been doing more frequently, it seems like every day, every other day, they'll do a pack release. And there's different pricings. So the $9, the common pack. But then again, I saw there was like a $29 pack that was called like Cool Cats or something, or Cool something. Then there was like the premium pack. Then there's like the elite or something. I don't know what the legendary pack.
Yeah.
And so it can range all the way up to what, $200-$300 a pack. And then once you buy a pack, if you get a chance to, because they've been releasing them in such small quantities that, like the one we tried yesterday, there was only 5,000 released.
Yeah.
And they'll put you in a queue. What's kind of cool is they put you in a generic queue. So it doesn't matter if you arrive first. You don't have to be pushing the button as fast as you can. As long as you get into the queue before the time starts of the drop, they have a randomizer that assigns you a spot. Unfortunately, I don't know about you. Well, I do know about you because I got a little bit higher than you. You had to be in the top 5,000 to even buy a pack. Yeah. I was number like 49,843.
So many people.
Yeah, you were like in the 70,000s.
I have no chance, man.
Yeah, neither one of us had a chance. It doesn't matter that you were 30,000 behind me, but that just means by the next time there's a drop, there'll probably be 150,000 people, 200,000 people. The entire audience of Audionots are going to be 1 million people.
I know. It's gonna be. It's just dumb luck, dude.
It's very much like hitting the lottery.
And one thing that what's cool about what they're doing is they have these challenges, right?
Yeah.
They give you like a time limit. Let's say there's like a week, and within this week, if you collect like 5 of these moments and you keep it for the duration of the time, they're gonna spawn a new moment for you that nobody has. You know,
right? It unlocks another moment that you didn't have, and that those are super rare because you had to do all these other things to collect it.
Yeah, and a lot of like Twitter people, they're like, all right, in order to collect all these moments, this is how much you're gonna spend. And I've seen like $40,000 just to collect like those 5 cards. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's
so
crazy, dude.
people need to understand, if you're interested in top NBA top shots, that it could be an investment. So we've invested a little bit of money. Basically, you put your money, you buy the Dapper Labs cryptocurrency, and then that's what you use to spend inside of the NBA Top Shot website. Which is weird that they have a website still and not an app. I'm kind of
It's probably because they're still in beta.
Yeah. So Rin and I have both attempted to buy some packs. We haven't been successful yet, so we're just completely transparent about this. But I wanted to participate so bad that while I was waiting to pick up Kid Danger from football practice yesterday, I actually bought a moment because what I've noticed is after they have a pack drop, the people that aren't super into it will sometimes sell the moments for a lot cheaper. And so I was able to buy a moment of a basketball player for like $18. So I immediately turned around because it's basically a marketplace, and I relisted it for $39. So I'm trying to double my money. And the key is when you go into the marketplace to look at the players, it'll list them and show you by price. So in my case, I have a Dylan Brooks moment, but the cheapest Dylan Brooks moment is still like 20 something dollars. So I need for that one to sell. So once that one sells, at a certain point, my $39 Dylan Brooks will be the cheapest one, and somebody will buy it thinking they can sell it for $80 is my hope. And so, but there's some opportunity where you see, because you can look and see at the ones that have been sold where people are selling them for real money. Once you get a really good player doing some really cool shit, it's worth some legitimate money.
Yeah, get like a Zion dunk, dude.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping there's supposed to be a pack drop tomorrow. I'm really hoping that I get lucky and actually get in, because then you get 3 moments, like I said, and hopefully
that one you get 6.
Oh shoot! So this one's a bigger one, so you get 6 because it's a premium pack, right?
Yeah.
So you'll get 6 moments, and man, can you imagine what you can turn 6 moments into if even half of them are good?
We can finally afford a podcast deck.
I know. It'd be so sweet. So yeah, that's our hot talk, man. You guys, we this is kind of taking the best of both worlds of card collecting and stock watching. So we talk about stocks. This is essentially the same thing. You got stocks, you got cryptocurrency, you got card collecting, and it's just mashed into this one genius idea. And I can honestly see this, if it works, being the future of collecting. Because you know what? Your moments will never bend or crease. You own it forever. It has value because it's running on blockchain. So it's not just some random video moment. It's really pretty cool.
Yeah, I think thanks to GameStop, everybody's into stocks now, you know?
Yep.
So it's kind of like, oh, this is just another version of it, you know?
Yeah, and we're not trying to say this is going to be some sort of get rich quick scheme for anybody, but it is fun. It's a lot of fun. I haven't invested a ton of money into it, but I'm enjoying it. I just want to participate in something, just kind of like I wanted to participate on Robinhood and mess around. There's this opportunity for it to be valuable, but I go into it just to enjoy it. So no one should go in there thinking they're going to be a millionaire by the end of the week. But if you go into it to enjoy it, there's a possibility that you might get car money. You might be able to go buy that car you've been looking at. There's a chance.
Yeah. And we're not your financial advisor.
No.
And this is all for,
this
entertainment
is
purposes.
Opinion only.
Yeah. And we're just telling what we're doing.
Yeah.
And, should go try it out because we're in it. And we'll see. And then
So,
maybe whenever we actually get a buy a pack, maybe we'll do like a pack opening.
I think you absolutely have to. I think that if we luck out, so there's 2 of it. We already talked about this. I said, if you get one and I don't get one, or if I get one and you don't get one, we can't be jealous of the other person because we're in it to win it, right?
Yeah.
So if one of us gets one, or if, heaven forbid, we both get one, we should absolutely record the opening part of it so everybody can see. Because what's interesting is you can keep that pack unopened as long as you want.
Really?
There are some people that do that, and I don't really see the benefit of that. unless they're just hoping this someday say, hey, I'll sell you this pack unopened, because baseball card people do that all the time. You're like, then someone else is hoping on the what could it be. It might be 3 shitty moments, but it might be that $200,000 LeBron moment.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, that's kind of crazy.
yeah.
Not opening mine, man.
Yeah, so we'll definitely
I
be
need to
talking
see.
about this. You hear us now. We'll talk about our hot stock tips and then our hot NBA top shot tips probably every episode as we continue to mess around with this. But yeah, if anybody's even into the NBA or maybe card collecting, it's definitely worth looking at.
And they're talking about like if this like it's goes really well.
Yeah.
There's opportunities in like football, baseball,
absolutely.
everything, dude. The future.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually heard the next one they might do was UFC. So these are real. I mean, this company is really, because they're so successful out of the gate. That's why there's a lot of issues still with the website, because it is still beta. But they do have a legitimate contract with the NBA. So this isn't some fly by night thing. The NBA wouldn't deal with this if it was just going to take your money and disappear. So yeah, can you imagine though? The UFC would work cool too. I'm not a huge UFC guy. Can you imagine like the coolest knockouts?
Yeah.
Dude, someone will pay big money for a Conor McGregor knockout. I guarantee it.
Man, this is like your future is now topic too.
This is so future is now. This is the one of these ideas that I wish I had come up with because it's so brilliant. Because the idea of just trading videos, you think that can't ever be worth anything, but the way they've built it on the platform they built it is pretty good. It's smart.
Well, even like the trading actual card game is like super hot right now too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
and like you were saying, all these kids growing up on NBA 2K have already been doing this for a long time,
Yeah.
So this generation, if you think that we're excited about it, we're the old fogies, wait until these kids, these NBA 2K kids start getting into it. It's just gonna blow up. So
yeah.
the theory being that if we can collect as much as we can at an inexpensive price and just sit on it like you would a stock, what could it be worth in 2 years, 5 years?
Because it's kind of like the younger folks, we've been molded into this. When you play a lot of like gacha games,
Right.
to where we're spending real money to get fake in-game money
Right.
to buy.
They're the Banes of
stuff,
this. We're just Batmans. They're the Banes.
I know. We're just trying to adopt it.
Yeah.
That's why we're always behind, man.
NBA Top Shot. I'm Batman. So, okay. That's it. That's all I had. Do you have anything else you want to hit the folks with before we jump out?
Good luck tomorrow on your
my drop.
Random drop. Random line.
Yeah. Good luck to you, my friend. So hopefully we will be having an opening video. It'll be maybe a special release kind of a thing because that'd be super dope.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
All right. Fingers crossed. With that, we're out. Everybody have a good one. See you on the flippity flip. Bye.